Hello everyone, hope you're all doing well. Just come across this. Turns out the moon holds more secrets than we imagined. Well, this is David Icke explaining some stuff about the moon. Excuse me. Explaining stuff about the moon. And it's hilarious. Oh, anyway, I'm gonna play some snippets, and this will make the globers happy, and the flat earthers will be like, nah. Have a listen.
Was not what it seems to be. It wasn't the heavenly body, the natural phenomenon that we believe that it is. The geometrical connections and everything, and the mathematics and the relationship between them in terms of size and position is just mind-blowing. And what I'm suggesting, and I'm not alone over the years at this level of it, I think I might be alone at the next bit, I'll come to in a second, or a few minutes, is that the moon is actually a hollowed-out planetoid by a very, very advanced...
Hollowed out, eh? Interesting. Just like the Earth. Some people believe that's hollow too. And we live inside it. Alright, let's carry on.
Advanced race, and it was brought here to take the Earth over. And
it was brought here to take the Earth over. Okay then.
What they do, this seems to be a modus operandi. They bring these moons in, and as they bring them in, they fundamentally...
They're talking about aliens. Bring them in. David Icke, you really make me laugh. Anyway.
Affect the Earth. I mean, the Earth is at the spin it is, and is at the angle it is.
The Earth is at the spin it is, and the angle it is. Nah.
Because of the moon.
Because of the moon? Okay. It's just a luminary light. Simple as that.
Massively so, anyway, because of the moon. So when they come in, bingo, things change, and the society that was there before ain't there anymore. And then gradually
there was no society there at all, mate. Jog on.
Take them over in ways that I'll come to. So, and all the rest of it. And what is a common theme that they talk about, the ancients, in relation to this? The earth turned over. And you think, how freaking hell can the earth turn over? Well, what happened? What happened?
Oh my days.
When the moon came in, the earth turned over. It's at an angle that it is today because of the moon. And so the distortion brought...
I won't subscribe, mate. Sorry about the sniffing, guys. I've got a bit of a cold. Sorry about that.
Brought an end to the world that was there before, and we basically went back to rubbing sticks together because of what happened. And that distortion was played out in the human mind, the human perception, the human psyche, and we completely changed our perception of the world and who we are, where we are. And the moon is so perfectly positioned that because of where it is, when we have an eclipse, it is the same size as the sun. That's why we have the eclipse. And the authors...
Okay. I sort of play this bit.
I'm a guy of chemistry, did a lot of writing on this sort of stuff, and he said this, quite rightly. We cannot help but come to the conclusion that the moon by rights ought not to be there. The fact that it is one of those strokes of luck almost too good to accept. Small planets such as Earth with weak gravitational fields might well lack satellites In general, then, when a planet does have satellites, those satellites are much smaller than the planet itself. Therefore, even if the Earth has a satellite, there would be every reason to suspect that at best it would be a tiny world, perhaps 30 miles in diameter. But that is not so. Earth not only has a satellite, but it is a giant satellite, 2,001.
There, mate, there are no satellites. And you're supposed to be a truther. And there's no truth in you, my friend.
160 miles in diameter. How is it then that that tiny Earth has one? Amazing.
Does it? Interesting. I would like to see that.
Some scientists don't even talk about a planet-satellite relationship, but a planet-planet relationship. The moon's bigger than Pluto.
But the moon is not a planet. Oh.
The best explanation for the moon is observational error. The moon doesn't exist. That's
The moon doesn't exist. Wait till you hear what else he's got to say about the moon.
scientists said. Another one from NASA. It seems easier to explain the non-existence of the moon than its existence. And then we get the hollow moon. This is what I'm saying, and others have said, is that it's a hollowed out planetoid. In November 1969, the moon was hit by a lunar module to the equivalent of 1 ton of TNT. The shock waves built up, and NASA scientists said the moon rang like a bell.
Ding dong.
Morris Ewing, a co-director of the seismic experiment, told the news conference, "As for the meaning of it, I'd rather not make an interpretation right now, but it is as though someone had struck a bell, say in the belfry of a church, a single blow, and found that the..."
Ding dong. The bell has rung. So now the moon is a bell. Hollow inside. Okay, let's carry on.
Reverberation from it continued for 30 minutes. It got a bigger smack eventually, which I'll...
So I wonder if the people on planet Earth heard the ringing and they went, "Oh, the bells, the bells, the bells."
I'll come to. Frank Press from the Massachusetts Institute of Technology, MIT, said that for a rather small impact to produce an effect that lasted for 30 minutes was quite beyond the range of our experience. This is a guy called Gordon MacDonald. He said in the early 1960s.
Does he work for McDonald's? Nice. It's not nice, is it? Anyway, carry on.
It would seem that the moon is more like a hollow than a homogeneous sphere. And this guy from MIT said the lunar orbiter experiments had vastly improved knowledge of the moon's gravitational field and indicated...
Oh, my days.
...the frightening possibility that the moon might be hollow. Now, we'll come to this bigger whack. A launch vehicle...
A bigger whack. Wait till you hear this.
...struck the moon with the equivalent of 11 tons of TNT, and NASA scientists said the moon reacted like a gong and continued to vibrate for 3 hours and 20 minutes to a depth of up to 25 miles. Ken Johnson, a supervisor of the Data and Photo Control Department during the Apollo missions, told Who Built the Moon author Alan Butler that the moon not only rang like a bell, but the whole moon wobbled in such a precise way that it was almost as though it had gigantic hydraulic damper struts inside it. These two Russian scientists from the Soviet Academy of Scientists wrote an article.
They must be on ecstasy. Crazy.
In 1970 in Sputnik magazine in Russia, headed, "Is the moon the creation of an alien intelligence?"
And I say to that, no.
And all these years later, it indicates to the fact that they were right. What they point out, and others point out, is...
So they were right. I don't know, guys. I really don't know.
...ancient spaceship the interior of which was filled with fuel for the engines and materials and appliances for repair work, navigation
Pyramid.
instruments, observation equipment, and all manner of machinery. In other words, everything necessary to enable this caravel of the universe to serve as a Noah's...
So the moon is now Noah's Ark. And it's got a pyramid on top of it. So that would explain a lot, really, wouldn't it?
Ark, appropriate, of intelligence, perhaps even as the home of a whole civilization, envisaging a prolonged thousands of millions of years existence and long wanderings through space, thousands of millions of miles. Naturally, the hull of such a spaceship must be super tough in order to stand up to the blows of meteorites and sharp fluctuations between extreme heat and extreme cold. Probably the shell is a double-layered affair. The basis is a dark armouring of about 20 miles in thickness, and outside of it some kind of more loosely packed covering. Try to get their point across in simple ways.
Yeah, I mean, all CGI. We know this.
It's almost
Sad.
exactly to the stories found on ancient clay tablets in what is now Iraq, Sumerian accounts of the...
Wait a minute. No stars. Interesting. Look, guys, with this video, I'm just playing because it's fun. And the fact that David Icke, a Luciferian himself, believes this and steers your kids and you that believe in a globe and stuff away from God, it makes me laugh. Interesting.
Anunnaki, a non-human race.
Sorry about sniffing again, guys. So yeah, I just wanted to play about this.
Some of these structures are half a mile in size. They're huge structures. Some of the buildings seem to have very reflective surfaces on them. A couple of structures that I saw reminded me of cooling towers at power generating plants. They had that sort of shape.
See, why could they use CGI like this? Do you know what I mean? But wait a minute, it's so fake. It looks, it's real. Let's see what we've got here.
Understanding of how to create this technology because of the understanding of reality. And whatever it is,
The understanding of reality. Interesting. Not.
it certainly doesn't seem to be natural. You've got all these other things kind of smudged out, and you can only see even the smudging in close-up.
What I'm trying to say is
Is that the earth is flat. Anyway, I'm going to leave that there. And talk to you guys soon. Keep it flat, keep it real. God bless. I've been the peg leg. Bye.